Hey, Wacko Bob here, and I'm getting a little something here going. This is for YouTube audience here and the crowd over at Mixler if they want to hear this thing. There's, as far as archives go, of course, gotta do this because I don't have webcam right now, so it's done with slideshows. This is one of two I'm doing today. This is this, however, is going to be more about Bill Cosby and the ongoing reports against Bill Cosby. The Yeah, and I don't know if this will go a whole hour. I'm hoping that I could do this in maybe 15 minutes. I have a tendency to babble, so my forgiveness there, where that goes. Um, but as I um, but I am gonna say that for the most part, a lot of people have been really on me about a lot of things that have been going on with the Bill Cosby thing. I got a lot of negative tweets my way where Bill Cosby goes. Cosby thing. I got a lot of negative, but for the most part, I am. A lot of people don't know this, but for those that do, I do have, I do have a radio network. Of course, it is called the Wacko Radio Network, and for the most part, it has to do more with it has to do more with more or less the fact that people think I'm looking for Bill Cosby to be found guilty, and that's not the truth at all. I am a Bill Cosby fan through and through. Biggest fan of Bill Cosby. I love his work. I love the fact that he could do good, clean comedy, and he could do it very well. But I am going to say that for the most part, I have to say that I'm very, very troubled by the accusations going his way. And it's not like anyone else feels, that they feel Bill Cosby is not guilty. Unfortunately, all fingers do point to guilty. And of course, we live in a world where it's innocent until proven guilty. And Bill Cosby, unfortunately, is going to have his day in court. I heard that he was supposed to do something September 30th. Now it's been moved to the first week in October, where he's really going to have to say something. And with the way the legal fight goes on and the more that comes out, it's coming out more against him than for him. And yet the people that have really stuck by Bill Cosby the most are the people that are well known for working with Bill Cosby, who said he was always a professional. He never once suggested sex with anyone. Of course, we've had a lot of people really talk about that where Bill Cosby goes and whatnot. But let's really look at this thing for what it is. Of course, Lisa Bonet is disgusted and concerned about the Bill Cosby accusations. And for Lisa Bonet, for starters, Zoe Kravitz is the one saying this. Zoe Kravitz is, and it's not Lisa Bonet herself. And a lot has been said, about Lisa Bonet and what has gone on. Lisa Bonet, of course, she had to get rid of the person who was working her social media, primarily with Twitter. Got rid of that person who made some very bad comments where Bill Cosby goes. And she of course denies ever really saying that at all. Made the point that she got rid of them, and had that comment taken down from Twitter. And I gotta say that Lisa Bonet, if Lisa Bonet really feels this way, then that says something about Bill Cosby and what the inspiration of Bill Cosby was. But there's also a situation too with Lisa Bonet, to where we don't know if she's actually telling the truth either, because there have been her Twitter does not talk about the controversy behind her leaving the Cosby Show, primarily A Different World. They don't talk about that. You got the one who played. You got the one who played her on TV husband, who said, "Oh yeah, he's guilty." So you got that going on. You got a lot of the co-stars or recurring stars saying what they saw, but if it's a main star who's dealt with Cosby, they're all saying he's okay. I mean, Bill Cosby could have very well been slick too, but more towards Lisa Bonet, because the rumor, of course, is that Lisa Bonet did a spread in Playboy or Penthouse or one of those magazines, and that was cause for controversy. I don't know the exact story on that one. All I know is that being a fan of Bill Cosby, when A Different World got through its first season, and I didn't see her or Marissa Tomei there, I knew something had changed, and the dynamic of the storyline had to change too. They got lucky with it too. I mean, I think they did great surrounding it more around Jasmine Guy's character, which I thought was great. But that's not the issue here. The issue here is whether or not Lisa Bonet is really telling the truth, because you never know. We're hearing something out of Lisa Bonet's daughter, but not out of Lisa Bonet. She may be opting to simply be silent. There may be things she believes, and there may be things she doesn't believe as far as the accusations go. So, I mean, you got to really look at that. You also got to look at credibility, too. Of course, you got people who have worked with Bill Cosby, who like Jimmy Walker, who worked on a 1975 movie with Bill Cosby, who loves Bill Cosby to death. And between TMZ, between going on Fox News with Shepard Smith and on CNN as well too, he has stood his ground, where he talked about the fact that he's surprised that people did not know about all the women in Bill Cosby's life. That people didn't know about this shocks him, which he believes really shouldn't, that he had all these women. There's probably more women out there than the 50 women that have come forward that could say something where that goes. But I'll get to the 50 women in a little while. But for both for not just Jimmy Walker to say the truth, and to me, Jimmy Walker, when he says that, where the women goes, he says he didn't know anything about the Quaaludes. And I believe Jimmy Walker where that goes. There are some things Bill Cosby will keep secret. I mean, people would talk more about his drug problem than they would the women if that got out there. But I mean, when you're in Vegas, and you're a star, all that's there for you for the taking. So I mean, that was that's probably the biggest thing that made me believe Bill. Made me believe Bill Cosby could very well be what he's accused of. And I'm not saying Bill Cosby is that. I'm not saying that at all. I, for one, want to believe that these things are untrue too, but it gets harder and harder. Then you hear Camille Cosby talk. She talked a few times about this, and to try and say that all this was consensual with the women, the only thing that goes through my mind there is you knew that your husband is Bill Cosby, America's dad, this man who's supposed to be all about family values and teaching life's lessons to kids and getting kids to walk the straight and narrow. You knew about all these women, and you're saying that all this was consensual and you're okay with it? And the only thing that went through my mind is how that doesn't make sense is how do I know that you weren't involved in pimping Bill Cosby out like this? How do we know that? Again, don't want to knock Camille Cosby either. I'm not trying to knock Bill either. But, it's just hard to believe some of the things being said there. And then she wants to come out later on and say how everything is so bogus, as far as things go. Makes no sense. Camille, of course, suggested a new lawyer, a black lawyer, a female lawyer, a lawyer that's supposed to be, quote, promoting a little more of a Christian value. And I haven't seen that out of this lawyer of theirs. I really haven't in the interviews that she has done. She's done a lot of manipulation, but look at the 1/3 of the women who are a part of the class action lawsuit against Bill Cosby. They have Gloria Allred, and if anyone's a conniver, it's her. And you want Bill Cosby to throw up $100 million? Are 20 women going to have to share $1 million each while she takes up 98 or 99 million of those dollars? I mean, Gloria Allred, although can be right from time to time, and worked her way up like she did, whether she's a sleazy attorney or not. I can't deny her accomplishments, regardless of how people feel about it. So, in that respect, a lot of people would want to say if Gloria Allred's involved, then Bill Cosby has to be innocent. Unfortunately, a lot of these women that were with Gloria Allred did take polygraphs, and I think Gloria Allred intentionally did that too, just to make sure she could prove a civil case against Bill Cosby. So that could happen too. And of course the latest news against Bill Cosby, looking at the polygraph, is that and a lot of people use different things to that would make people not have people knowing that they're taking polygraphs, and these things work just as well, if not better, than a polygraph, but they're also just as admissible, not admissible, I should say, in court as well too. But I know that polygraphs to a lot of people are starting to become more and more accurate, and they are letting them be admissible from time to time in civil court. But the latest news, of course, it's suggesting that Bill Cosby is lying. Some of them are saying he's not even coming close. So, there is that to worry about. You could take you could take polygraphs and pass with flying colors, and you could ask them it 6 different ways, like they normally like to do. Still doesn't make it the truth at the same time too. It can, but it can't at the same time. So there is a point to look at there, but that works against Bill Cosby. Another one that I have to say, and there's 2 people that have really come out against Bill Cosby that I really have to say I don't think have any reasons to lie. One of them is a 90-year-old man, or a man that's 90 years old today, that worked with Bill Cosby on NBC with The Cosby Show some 30-plus years ago, and he talked about guarding the door where Bill Cosby had a lot of these women, and then would have to sign cashier's checks in his name so that Bill Cosby would not have to be questioned about that, to hide the fact that he was paying some of these women off. You know, Bill Cosby's original attorney, which I thought was who was even worse than what he has now, and I think the one he has right now may be able to fight for Bill Cosby a little bit, and make some points. His first attorney just said, "Oh, this is just a person living his 15 minutes of fame," and the guy's 90 years old. What does he have to gain by this? 15 minutes of fame. So let's look at that part of it too with Bill Cosby. The other part of it is, and I really look at this end of it more so than anything else, is the name Carla Ferrigno. Carla Ferrigno, of course, was a was someone who I believe was a model, a Playboy model, and she had dealt with Bill Cosby before even getting married to Lou Ferrigno herself. And the Ferrigno family, being what they are, Lou Ferrigno and their family, they have a great reputation, the Ferrigno family does. And to me, the Ferrigno family is a family, would that I think she talked to Lou. I think she talked to the rest of her family before anything else could be said. And I think she talked to them before going to uh, where that goes. So I think that had a lot to do with it. So I don't think she has a reason to lie. So I look at that. So I look at her, but she also doesn't make herself come out as a victim either. She knew what she was getting into. She knew that they were looking to drug her. She refused to accept the drink. I think word was even getting out back then. And she fought herself away from Bill Cosby and left. She doesn't make herself out to be a victim. She knows she almost made a mistake. So I got to look at that end of it and say, if anyone's telling the truth there, it's Carla Ferrigno. Another one who really stresses things out, and I'm going to bring up this name here too, is actress Michelle Horde, who most people will remember from Law and Order SVU, who accuses Bill Cosby of the same thing. She says fallout depends on yet another woman forward with claims against Bill Cosby. Actress Michelle Horde appeared on Gossip. She did a lot of work, I guess, as an extra, and then did some bit stuff a couple of times on the Cosby Show. She says she has no reason to lie about this, but she was someone who was someone who got away from Bill Cosby before he could rape her, and she says this happened on more than one occasion with him. So she has come forward with her attempts, with the attempts there. She's someone who I don't think has a reason to lie either. Why would she come out? Why would she put everything she has on the line? Not to say anything, and I agree, something Jimmy Walker says. He's happy the women are getting vindicated where this goes, and I think that's a very good thing. And, I look at that end of it. So I look at Michelle Horde. I have to say that I think she could be very well telling the truth there, too. Again, she has no reason to lie. She also did, for her time there, she did SVU, she did Gossip Girl. She says Cosby touched her inappropriately when he asked if he eat lunch with him in his dressing room. When she worked on the Cosby Show, she said Cosby told her never tell anyone what they did together. Then the night he asked her in the shower at his apartment, and she declined. Horde eventually spoke to another woman who said she woke up in Bill Cosby's apartment drugged one morning. This is Cosby's lawyers calling the growing number of allegations against the actor increasingly ridiculous and completely illogical. Again, Michelle Horde, one of the many women looking to try to make it in there, and in their, Bill Cosby will take these women, give them their little bit of time they'll have on TV, but again, look at the way they'll take advantage of them. So again, another person I don't think has a reason to lie. So, and when you look at what's happening here to Bill Cosby right now, I mean, I look at those three names and gotta say they all mean something there, where this goes. And you add in, and I mean, I only mentioned one or two people that knew what was going on with Bill Cosby, and there's probably about for every three women, there's probably about two that probably knew what was going on with these women too. So if you have 51 women who are saying this, you probably got about another 20 that could say something where Bill Cosby goes. And unfortunately, when you put things together, when you look at what had happened when he when unsealed documents from 2005 were out, and he admitted to having Quaaludes, to getting Quaaludes for the sake of drugging women. He would say that it's his back. I think a lot of that is true. I do think a lot of that is true. I mean, I'm not going to say I will not say anything bad where that goes. So what it comes down to is between all these women, because I really want to take this home at this point, and really bring it together here, is in the end, who do I believe? Who do I believe in this case? Do I believe the women, or do I believe Bill Cosby? In the end, I gotta say that in the end, I think I'm gonna, people are gonna disagree with me on this one, but as much as I'm a Bill Cosby fan, we saw what happened with Whoopi Goldberg, where they brought these people who do investigations like this, and people who are analysts in investigations. Even Whoopi Goldberg, who wanted to defend Bill Cosby, says right now all fingers point to guilty. I don't think 50 women, to have 50 women come forth, 51 to be more exact, come forward like this, and to have probably about another 20 who say they knew what was going on here, I don't think all of them are lying. I don't think they all are. I don't think they're putting a target on Bill Cosby and saying, let's screw up this man's career. Bill Cosby's so rich right now, you're not going to screw up anything with this guy. However, I will admit, like Jimmy Walker said, you got 50 plus years worth of work that you're never going to see again. With Hulu, Netflix. There are a couple other places, social sites that have aired Bill Cosby stuff that's not airing it anymore because of this. Even I Spy is really being pulled off the map, and I feel bad for Robert Culp, the late Robert Culp, with that one. Because he'll be remembered more for I Spy than he will be Greatest American Hero. But you won't see that. You won't see his work again. BET, Bounce, Nick, most syndicated stations. Most of them probably, and if not all of them at this point, have stopped airing any of Bill Cosby's stuff. And there are rumors going around that they're going to try to bring that PBS, which has a classic station, was going to try to bring back picture pages. That's just a rumor, but but now that's pretty much over. It's sad. I think the only place you'll be able to see anything with Bill Cosby, and the only thing I've ever really seen with Bill Cosby on it has been I Spy. Has been I Spy as far as his shows go. Have been mostly YouTube. And even YouTube could probably take down that stuff too if they wanted to, that people put up. Sad case, I enjoyed The Cosby Show. I enjoyed I Spy. I enjoyed even Cosby. And I'll always be a fan of Fat Albert. I grew up on picture pages. Unfortunately, it's over. The only thing I never really saw for Bill Cosby that he did was the Bill Cosby Show. So I'm just gonna say it like it is. It's a sad situation, but unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna see his work again. I think the fingers, for the most part, all point to guilty, and it's sad. It's sad, and unfortunately, even for me myself, having a radio network, I do a thing called Comedy Countdown, and Bill Cosby stuff I used to play. Some of his older stuff, of course, the stuff from Bill Cosby himself. Another guy, roller derby legend Chuck Skull, of course, has his comedy show he does. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to play Bill Cosby, and we both want to play it. We have to worry about the potential sponsors. We got to worry about listeners that may be offended by hearing Bill Cosby's stuff, and we got to worry about places where we play this on, especially where social sites go. So unfortunately, everything works against me being able to play Bill Cosby's stuff. And if this new deposition that's going to comes out and things don't look good for Bill Cosby at all, and I don't think they're going to, and if the only card left for him to run is the racist card, then it's over for Bill Cosby. Unfortunately, I'll be stuck having to take all of Bill Cosby's stuff down from the playlist I have. So it's sad. It's sad. We have a lot more good, clean comedy that we do play on both my show and Chuck's show. But it'll be unfortunate, but I'll have no choice. I like Bill Cosby. I love the guy to death. But unfortunately, when something like this works against you, there isn't much you can do. All right, with that being said, I'm going to call this for part of what I'm doing for YouTube done. I'm going to do one more thing on Mixlr, so if you people are listening in the chat room, all you have to do is stick around in there. I'm going to do another thing on the upcoming NFL season. I really should wait to do this one later tonight, but I actually want to get it done now because I think to do the predictions with what we're going to see tonight would be even better. So, with that being said, I wish Bill Cosby all the luck in the world, and I hope there's a way he could get out of this, but it's unfortunate, but unfortunately I got no choice but to say, and I'm not trying to influence anyone here, but right now all fingers point to guilty. Sad case, all I could say.